Does this scenario keep you up at night? You wake up to an email, your biggest client just dropped you. Your partner's job, gone. And your savings? Well, let's just say emergency fund is looking more like emergency crumbs. What now? If that hit a little too close to home, then you're in the right place. Today, I'm sharing a proven, low-risk plan to build an emergency fund in only 2 years, even if you're starting from zero. By the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step guide to creating financial security and get back in the driver's seat of your finances. Let's start with 4 real stories from members of our Global Grant Writers Collective. Claire's husband lost his job, and with no savings, they spent months scrambling, doing whatever they could to tread water until she started grant writing and was able to pull in $50K in her first year, giving her and her family room to breathe. Elaine's partner faced a similar setback. But she turned that low point into momentum, building her own financial cushion, rocking a $450K consulting business 2 years later, and a plan for her partner to retire early. Carrie went as far as moving into a camper on her parents' property to afford professional development. A year and a half later, she's a proud homeowner in Utah. Amber's business went under during COVID, and as a single mom of 3, she had to scramble to make ends meet. Fast forward a bit, and she now knows how to spin up paid work, making $15K in 3 months with a roadmap to a comfortable career working from home. The biggest thing we hate to admit is that unexpected challenges will happen. No one's immune. When I first started freelancing, I had about $30,000 of debt and no safety net. But, spoiler alert, I made it through, and so can you. Grant writing and freelancing became my vehicle to stability and success. And if you want even more stability and success, check out this fun fact. 86% of you who watch our videos regularly haven't hit subscribe yet. If that's you, here's a little deal. Tap that subscribe button right now, and we'll keep bringing you binge-worthy unicorn-level content that's useful, inspiring, and fun. By subscribing, you're helping us help you, with new videos packed with the grant writing magic you love every single week. Now let's get into the steps on how I made this dream possible. Whether you're a freelancer, small business owner, or just tired of living paycheck to paycheck, creating an emergency fund can transform your financial life and your peace of mind. In this video, we're breaking down how to create a rock-solid budget that works, the exact steps to calculate and build your emergency fund, how to celebrate milestones without breaking the bank, and how to stay consistent even when disaster strikes. So let's start with step 1, track everything. Yes, everything. The first step to building your emergency fund is understanding exactly where your money's going. Use a budget tracking app like EveryDollar, or You Need a Budget to make this step super easy. I can personally vouch for EveryDollar, as it's the app my husband and I use, even if we don't really support Dave Ramsey's teachings entirely. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? For your income, track every single dollar you earn. Even if you're doing super small gigs on the side worth only $20, track it. As the saying goes, it all adds up. And same goes for expenses. Make sure you're literally tracking every single thing. Yes, even your morning coffee. Not only does this help for saving and debt payoff, but it also helps you keep a log of business expenses for writing off at the end of the year. Last thing you'll want to track are your debts and liabilities. Know what you owe and to whom. It may feel overwhelming to write it all down, but it really does help to see the full picture. At this stage, make sure you at least have a surface level plan to pay back those debts. To make it more manageable though, break it down into much smaller chunks. Personally, I started with paying off the little debts first to build momentum, and then pay off the high interest debts so it's not accruing more debt over time. Remind me how loans aren't a scam again? Pro tip. As a grant writer, I took on extra projects to accelerate debt payoff. Freelancing is clutch for financial security. Sure, they're not consistent work, but life loves plot twists. Side gigs can be a game changer for paying off debt or hitting goals faster. Step 2, define your emergency fund goals. So, what is an emergency fund? In short, it's your safety net, typically around 3 to 6 months of living expenses, ready to keep you afloat when life throws you a curveball. To start, calculate your baseline essentials. Use the log you created in step 1 to make this process easy. Add up your rent or mortgage, groceries, gas, utilities, and must-have expenses to come up with your necessary expenses per month. Then, figure out how many months you want to save up for your emergency fund. As I said before, this is typically 3 to 6 months, but your fund can be be as big as you want. Make it a full year if you want. Once you have this number, multiply your necessary monthly expenses by how many months you want your emergency fund to cover. As an example, $4,000 a month times 6 months would equal an emergency fund of $24,000. Now that you have your goal, make your financial journey personalized. For me and my husband, we focused entirely on debt payoff first, then funneled resources towards savings. Once we paid off our debt, we immediately hired a financial advisor to make sure we stayed on track moving forward. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress and consistency. It all adds up. Step 3. Celebrate small wins. Here's a secret. Celebrating your progress keeps you motivated. Every single milestone counts. Make a payment larger than the minimum for the first time? Celebrate. Pay off a credit card? Celebrate. Hit your first $500 in savings? Celebrate again. When I finally paid off my car loan, my husband and I toasted with champagne from our favorite local wine shop. And trust me, it tasted even better than usual. Celebrations don't have to break the bank either. Think a picnic, a DIY spa day, or a Netflix marathon with a little extra popcorn. It's about the intention. Set time aside for yourself. You can even check out these 100 ways unicorns celebrate wins big and small in our community. Step 4. Stay consistent but flexible. Progress takes consistency, but I know sometimes life gets in the way. For example, one month we got hit with an unexpected vet bill. Did I stop saving? Nope. I simply lowered the amount I put away for that month. And then for the next month, I put just a little extra away to make up for it. Even when something happens that can really throw you off, it's important to keep your head above the water. If you absolutely cannot put money towards your emergency fund for a month due to an accident or medical bill, try this. Take money out of the fund to cover the expense, then put your monthly savings back into the fund. It may feel kind of dumb, but it can help you keep your mindset on track of putting money in every month, even if you need to take some out for, well, an emergency. If in all this you're thinking, but wait, I'm not making ends meet, let alone making enough to save. How can I get ahead? How do I make more? We got you covered. Money doesn't grow on trees. But remember those real folks at the beginning that I mentioned? They all figured out ways to diversify their income. You can check out this video on 5 top paying remote jobs without a degree, or jump into this training here for how you can get started in grant writing without any prior experience. Want more money? Become skilled and valuable. That's what we show you how to do in the Global Grant Writers Collective. All right, let's quickly recap the steps to build your emergency fund, even if you're starting from zero. Track everything: income, expenses, and debt. Define your goals. Calculate your baseline and start small. Celebrate your wins. Every milestone is progress worth acknowledging. Stay consistent but flexible. When life happens, adjust, don't stop. And most importantly, remember that your financial security starts with mindset. Believe in your ability to turn these things around. This isn't about immediate gratification or perfection. It's about small, meaningful steps that add up to a big transformation. You've got this. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit subscribe for more actionable strategies on freelancing, grant writing, and leveling up your finances. Got a win or a lesson you've learned on your financial journey? Share it in the comments. I'd love to cheer you on. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.